What's going down, y'all? It's the Wake Up Crew here to talk some NBA prop bets over on Prize Picks for this Game 6 Eastern Conference Finals matchup between the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat. Jay, we saw a closeout game last night. The Golden State Warriors back in the NBA Finals. They put it to the Dallas Mavericks, and it was, of course, a Klay Thompson flamethrower game. This is why we were very hesitant on taking an under on Klay Thompson, because all it takes is one night and he can just erupt and be on fire. And he hit 8 3-pointers, took 16 threes, right? He took more three-pointers than Steph Curry, Andrew Wiggins, and Draymond Green combined. And he lit it up, shot 50%. I talked about Steph Curry's over 3.5 three-pointers. I knew somebody was going to light it up to close it out and pick the wrong damn splash, brother. Steph got a little banged up. He only had 2 for 7 from 3. Just wasn't a good night for Steph Curry. He only had 15 points, but they did not need him. Jordan Poole did his thing, Kevon Looney on the boards, and Klay Thompson, of course. But we did talk about Andrew Wiggins. He almost had his damn over point total in the first half, Jay. So good call there. Dorian Finney-Smith, nothing. I know some people in the comments were talking about Jalen Brunson's rebounds. That didn't hit. Talked about Luka a little bit, not as a core play, but over 9.5 boards. He finished with 9. His 2022 NBA season is over. But we got Jason Tatum. We got Jimmy Butler. We like some unders. We are cautiously optimistic on some overs tonight. I think it's going to be another ugly matchup, but let's get into it right now.
For all the high-flying action, take a step back and relax. It's time to count that money, the NBA props. No look any further. You know what time it is. Presented by Prize Picks, NBA props. Let's
count that money, man. All right, Jay, where are you going? Let's start this thing off. Where do you want to talk about? Where are we going in for your plays tonight?
I'm going with Jimmy Butler under his 22.5 points. As much as I love Jimmy Butler, especially on the road, I've talked about him a lot. I just don't think he's got any shot of going under or over. The injury has just been too much for him. He shot terribly coming into Boston, hostile environment. I just don't think this is the game where he's going to be going over his points. You could talk about the par and why maybe the par is a safer play, but I think he could be active on the boards and why I'm taking the under 22.5 for Jimmy Butler in this one.
Yeah, I was looking at his par, right? People hate when we call it that, but that's what we call it, damn it. Points, assists, rebounds, same damn thing. 32.5 for Butler. And, I mean, our projection model has him under both of these. I think we have him projected for 19.9 points, so right at 20 points. And I know his par numbers right at, I believe, 29 for Jimmy Butler tonight. And you see, like, ever since that injury, whatever happened to him after, in that game 3, I'm at 13, 14, and then 23, man. He's averaging 28.6 over his last 5. I like the under both of these numbers, Jay. For me, I would rather take the under his par. I don't think he's going to dime a lot. Miami just doesn't have the shooters to convert those potential assist opportunities, right? Max Strus he's been bad this series. Kyle Lowry is injured. Yeah. Bam doesn't shoot from deep, They've got the kid, what's his name, Martin, that can get hot every now and then. But in Boston, hostile environment, closeout game for the Celtics, I don't like it, man. And even if you go to first half, Jimmy, we kind of talked about this, right? 11.5 points in the first half, and then 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And again, this number looks even scarier for Jimmy Butler. He's only hit it twice in the series, hasn't gotten there over the last 3. So I'm all in on the Jimmy Butler unders, whether it's the points or the par. I like both unders for Jimmy Butler. An over that I do like, it's the highest percentage edge play that we've found so far for the players that are on the board for Prize Picks. And as you can see, this is an early look. We're recording this at about 8:30 in the morning, so a lot of guys are not loaded up yet. No Robert Williams, but Jason Tatum over 6 rebounds. This was a play that we recommended a couple of days ago. He hit that, and you can see throughout this series, he's either hit or pushed 4 or 5 games in this series. Robert Williams being back, Miami shooting poorly, a lot of brick opportunities, some long rebounds for Jason Tatum. We've got him projected for around 8 rebounds in this game. So if I'm going to take an over anywhere in this one, it's going to be Jason Tatum over 6 rebounds, Jay.
Yeah, we've talked about closeout games. We talked about Luka, needing to be on the boards and other guys in this series. In these really important games, you see these stars start to take a larger command of the ball. And so I do really like this over for Jason Tatum. I think better chance than not he goes over. We'll see what happens with Horford and Robert Williams. But I think there's a great shot that at only 6 rebounds, he can at least go over that number. We saw, like you said, went over 12 last game and in another
Yeah.
important game and going to probably go over again today. So I do love that play for Jason Tatum. And then another play that I want to talk about that's not even on the board right now is I want to talk about Robert Williams. And the reason why is because his line on the books right now is between 6.5 and 7.5 points, depending on where you look. And I think if PrizePicks drops it at 6.5, you're going to get some really, really good value. The weird thing about Robert Williams is that he hasn't played as well on the road, but at home, he's hit this number in 9 of his last 10 home games. So the biggest thing is that you want to take a guy where the trend is leaning his direction, and Robert Williams has played much better at home than he has on the road. 9 of 10, he's hit 9+ points. So again, you look at his overall game log, you're like, he's not so good. But then you go look at his home road splits, and all of a sudden you're like, damn, like he's just a guy who plays much better at home than he has on the road. And like I said, the only time he didn't was that game against Milwaukee right there you see on May 1st, where he only put up 6 points. But the rest of his home games over his last 10, he's gone 9+. And I believe he's got a great shot to do that again tonight at home against the Heat to close this game out.
Yeah, look at this. I mean, this is a great call, Jay. Robert Williams points at home. This is over his last 10 games, dating all the way back to March. We know he missed a lot, but I mean, just green, right? Just looks beautiful. And I think this was a good call by you because I'm actually very much interested in Robert Williams' his first half, either points, rebounds, and assists, or his first half fantasy score, right? If you can get a couple of blocks, score those points, this will be something that we'll probably come back in the comments and talk about a little bit later. Let's just take a look at Robert Williams' blocks and steals at home. So blocks and steals, looks like the book has it set at 2.5. He's averaging about 2.5 blocks and steals versus Miami. But then the blocks, right? If comes in at 1.5, Jay, would you be interested in another 1.5 taking the over Robert Williams? Just blocks. Look at the juice to the over.
I would,
right
but
here.
that's why we won't see it, right?
Yep.
It's -195 on the books. He hits it almost every game. PrizePicks will not give us this gift again. We got it last time. He hit it in the first half, but this time I don't think we'll be so fortunate. But to your point, Ray, is that again he had 3 blocks last game and he got it in the first half. So I think overall what you're looking at is a guy who just plays really, really well on the blocks, and he's going to get these blocks overall. So that's going to be conducive to a higher fantasy score, and especially if he gets him in the first half, great shot of going over in the first half for that fantasy score.
Love it, and that's the move, right? So we'll be paying attention to the Robert Williams first half lines, the points, the par, the fantasy score. Let's see what that is, and it probably won't get that until later in the day. So we'll come back if we find anything with some good edge. We'll add those in the comments, but let us know what you're playing. So the plays that we feel confident about tonight, Jimmy Butler, whether you want to take the points or the par, points, rebounds, and assists, or points, assists, rebounds, the under for Jimmy Butler, over Jason Tatum's rebounds prop at 6. And then let's watch Robert Williams. Jay, what Robert Williams play are you more interested in on? Because it seems like does a lot of damage early in the game. I'll be looking at his first half, either fantasy score or par.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think the first half is probably the better play, but even if his point is 6.5, like I'd be willing to take that bet because I know he's going to be in at the beginning of the game and at the end. He may only play 20 minutes, but like I talked about last time with the blocks, he as long as he plays, he's hitting the number. And you see when he plays, as long as he plays, he's hitting that number in 9 of his last 10. So I'd be willing to make that bet overall.
There it is. We appreciate y'all tapping into the channel. All the picks, data-driven. We do our best, right? So if you tail, give them hell. And if we fail, don't bail. We'll be back with more data-driven analysis, data-driven picks. Good luck and enjoy the game tonight. We out. Peace.